Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
All right. Welcome back to another beautiful Wednesday with your host, Juss Quanni. I know y'all miss me. I miss y'all too. I love y'all as well. I know y'all love me too. So we'll get into it today. No, we won't get right into it. We don't never start the day off like that. What am I thinking about? But what we will do is talk about the week. I'm not sure how y'all week has been, but I've had a very productive week. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit productive. It was a lot. You know what I mean? I was all over the place. I picked up an extra shift or two at work on top of being a friendly neighborhood spider dad like I do so well. Let me tell you about these kids, man. They get on my nerves. I'm at the point where these kids, I'm ready to fight them. And I can't fight them the way I want to fight them because I go to jail. And I don't want to whoop them just to whoop them because that's abuse. They didn't do nothing wrong. But they get on my goddamn nerves. They don't listen. They eat up all my food. They always want me to spend my money. I think I should have thought about that. I recently got released from prison after serving 20 years in prison for something I didn't do. Got some freestyle music. You willing to listen to some? Oh, listen, man, I'm all about support. I'm all about, trying to get everybody's names out there or at least have that conversation. So hit me up. I'm definitely about that. And I love music, so I'll definitely work with you, Hit me up and let me know. Hit me up on the inbox. You got everything tagged. You got my name, Facebook, whatever the case may be. I'll give you all the socials at the end of the show, so if you stay around long enough, you'll get that too. But yeah, these kids, man, I love them to death, but they is definitely just, I'm ready for them to get jobs. Like they ain't got paper routes for 6-year-olds. My son can definitely get a job right now. That man can tell me when anything is going wrong in the house, and I think he's ready to work. He came to my job one time cleaning golf clubs, and he wanted to get paid. I mean, they gave him $2 an hour. Before y'all say something, he's 6. That little $2 or $3. He ended up making like $20 that day, though. So to him, that was a lot of money. Yes, he spent it on a lot of candy and stuff, but he made a hard works living, so I'm proud of him for that. So, yes, I let him spend his money on whatever he wanted to. But I wish they can get a job to help me with some of these bills. I'm tired of working all the time, and I don't never have time to myself no more. I'm not mad about that part, you know what I mean? I'm not mad about not having time to myself because my kids, that's what I did it for. That's why I had kids. They were to take up the free time I had before. So now I could just consider that non-existent altogether. Send me your inbox when you finish. I got you, my man. I'll definitely come back to the post. If you haven't reached out to me, I'll reach out to you, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Besides that, let's talk about my week. It's been a great week. Like I say, I probably did that already. It's been a great week. One of the things I am happy about is I signed up for Uber Eats. And I know that sounds crazy why you're happy about it, even though I got a million other things already going on, right, with my work, the show, the burlesque show, yada, yada, yada. The grind don't stop. Any way I can make $1, I'm going to try to. I like that because now in the mornings when I drop the kids off at school, it'll give me something to do on those off days I have. I've just been finding myself being a little lazier. I've been procrastinating a little more than I tend to, and I don't like it. I don't like the spirit that my mental is in. I don't like anything about it. There are some things on the back end that are going on that are probably causing that, which will get figured out later on down the road. But for the most part, it's just like I've noticed that I have become a little lazy, over time. And I don't like that about myself because the one thing I don't do is I don't like being lazy. Like I used to be on top of everything when I had to, when I needed to. And all of a sudden for the last couple months, I've just been, I've been out of it. And there are some things in my personal life, right? And I can be honest about that are really messing with my mental at the moment, or kind of just having me in overdrive mode, or I'm overthinking all the time. Well, I'm already always overthinking, and just consider it like 10 times worse now. And those things are holding me back in a way because it's making me lose motivation. I had to catch myself, when I started seeing that, because the last thing I want to do is lose motivation. So, now I'm doing extra shit to make myself get up and get out there. Like, when I'm feeling down, I'll start cleaning up, or I'll go put on a suit. I love my suits. Whatever the case may be, like, I handle my depression in many different ways, but the one thing I don't do is just sit there and let it handle me. I hope I said that, and I hope y'all caught that the right way. I handle my depression. I don't let it handle me. So it comes around, and I already know what to do to make sure it's got a quick stay, right? Make sure it's in and out the door. And that's one of the things I like doing. I stay productive. I stay on top of it. I'll clean up. I'll make myself feel better. I'll make myself something to eat. I will do something for me that makes me feel better. At the end of the day, no matter what I'm going through, I always have to show myself I appreciate me and I love me. So that's kind of what's been going on with that for the past week, but mentally that's been going on for a couple months. What is it you say that's bothering me mentally? I'll be honest with you. This one I just don't want to share. Not right now, at least. Not right now. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but right now I'm just kind of like keeping that one to myself. Other than that, though, let's get into it. I missed y'all. It's been a great week, great week, and I'm making sure I didn't forget nothing to leave out for y'all. Don't forget, tonight is the Womanopoly LV show, right? And it's at the Artifice Bar at the Arts District downtown. So it doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. I, the handsome Juss Quanni, I am your host, and I've been hosting that show since it came to Las Vegas. I've been hosting the Womanopoly LV show since it was created and produced by Elise Lane, the Maryland with Melanin. Shout out to her for the opportunity she gave me, and I still continue to show out with it. So if you're not doing nothing tonight, it's a Wednesday night. If you're not doing nothing, come down to the Artifice Bar, go to Eventbrite, get your tickets. You know what I mean? Come out and see us, support. Wonderful burlesque performers tonight that you're going to see going to rock your socks off. I'm telling you, every time we have a show, people just can't do nothing but talk about it. So come and see it for yourself so you can be the next person talking about it, Other than that, it is going to be a very, very decent week. I mean, busy, but I say decent because every week is busy for me, right? Every week I'm always trying to do something. Today I went to work, got off work, came to do the show. After the show, I'll go ahead to do the burlesque show. Where's all this energy after this that I'm getting? Hey, man, that's just me. Do I need an energy drink? I'll probably need one tomorrow. Actually, no. I just thought about that. I don't go into work until 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. I'm good. I might actually get drunk tonight. I might actually get drunk tonight. Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. I think having a few drinks or more drinks, I think that's going to work out. But other than that, everything else is going pretty steady. Don't forget to come out and get your tickets for the show tonight. Come and see me. Again, doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. I am the host. Your host with the most, I like to say. Well, they like to say. We all like to say. Come out and support and get those tickets on Eventbrite, right? Come and see me. Come and see us. You'll enjoy it. I promise you'll have a great time. I got all the little dad jokes I can, a little banter out the way, whatever the case may need to be. But please come out and support Womanopoly LV, and we will see you there tonight at 7 o'clock or 7:30 when the show starts. That's a wrap. No. I'm just kidding. So, other than Womanopoly, I hope to see y'all at the burlesque show tonight. If not, I'm sure you would have loved to come. Now, let's get into the topics for today, okay? So, I got a few videos that I do want to play. Well, you'll just hear it. You all will hear the audio from the videos. But I kind of just want you guys to just sit there and we'll talk about each one, right? It's just about 4 or 5 simple videos. I just kind of want to talk about that. And then there's one topic that I'm saving for the end. And I mean, y'all been raving about this for the last few days now, and I'm just ready to get my input about it. So we'll go from there too. But that'll be later on into the show. So for right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to play the first video and we can go from there. All right, here we go.
Can't find himself anymore. He's just holding tears. Maybe he's saying, I'm just ready to give up. Have you ever seen that guy that when he shows up in public, he looks like he's just unwavering in who he is as a man? Perfectly fine, nothing wrong, nothing could bother this guy. But for 1 second, would it surprise you that that same man will sit alone in silence? Maybe he's just laying there in his bed, looks out his living room window and just stares, and tries to block out one more thought from entering his mind. Because deep down, this guy is so overwhelmed and stressed, he just can't find himself anymore, and he's just holding in tears. Maybe he's saying, I'm just ready to give up. But somehow, that same man can still look you in the face, smile, and act like nothing has ever happened because he cares more about you than he does himself. Can you guys relate to that? Have you ever seen that guy that...
So the reason I play that is because I can heavily relate to that. On the outside, I think I said this last week to y'all, that it may look like that I'm happy. It may look like that everything is good to go, but deep down there are some things that are just bothering me, right? And I love this video because it explains how sometimes we want to talk, we want to open up, we want to let it be known what's bothering us. We don't have the resources, or we don't have the opportunities to do so, or when we're being told, or when we're being told that, we're weak, we're nothing, we ain't shit, be a man. And I love how this one says, like, regardless of what's going on, you can see as a man, we have that unwavering ability to make it look like, nah, we good. It's great. Things are going perfectly fine. Things are going amazing. But deep down, as a man, you can also sit there and you be thinking to yourself, like, today's the day. I'm going to just give up. No, tomorrow's the day. Okay, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. It just talks about how we go through so much and we're there for everybody else, because we want them to see the happy side of us, the uplifting, the spiritual side that makes them want to be better, right? But I agree personally, it does something to you. You can't keep pretending that you're in this fairy tale when you have real issues going on. And we think that we can't talk about it. We think we can't open up about it, or we can't go to that person or this person. And I'm just going to put myself in there for a second just to make it personal, right? Because I want y'all to understand I'm coming from a personal viewpoint. I've tried to open up. I've tried to talk and communicate. And you just you get to a point where you don't know how anymore. You don't know what to do or what to say, because after trying so many different outlets, whether you want to write it down in a letter, whether you want to sit somebody down and have a conversation, whether you want to have it over the phone, whether it's over FaceTime, whatever the conversation may be, it's just that when you've tried so many outlets to have the same conversation and it keeps leading back to the same solution or the same resolution, it's kind of a letdown. So later on down the road, you kind of just think to yourself, like, I don't need to open up. I don't need to talk. I don't need to speak. When I did try to speak, when I did try to open up, it wasn't heard. It wasn't, taken with a grain of salt. It wasn't, actually approached the correct way, but it was more so just an attack on me. You know what I mean? And after so many times of me trying to express how I feel, I got to a point where I would, but I don't have the energy to. It's like when I get ready to express or explain how I'm feeling about something, I have no energy to do so. But the crazy part is if some third party was to ask me or talk to me about it, for instance, let's say my best friend, I can, no matter how many times I need to, I can express myself to her and let her know how I feel. I don't have to worry about being judged. I don't have to worry about being looked at a certain type of way. I don't have to worry about her trying to attack me for just expressing myself or just letting me vent, letting me get it off my shoulders. But that's a great thing, but she can't always be there. You know what I mean? She can't always be there. So some people will get to the point now where they look at me and say that I just don't want to communicate, but that's not the case. That's not it. It's just that I've tried for so long. And I just can't find the words. I can't bring the words to come out of my mouth to say it to you again. That's how it is. Whether you're a friend, family, relative, whatever, it don't matter. Relative, friend, acquaintance, coworker. That's just how it is. I don't have the energy to repeat how I'm feeling anymore. I just don't. And you can call me an asshole. You can call me nonchalant. But at the end of the day, that's just me looking out for me. That's me loving myself. Why do I need to keep repeating myself to someone that clearly doesn't give a fuck because they didn't hear me the first time? Can you explain that to me? No. Because again, unless you want me to sit there and make it seem like everything is peachy clean and just not ever say nothing about nothing, but that just builds up and it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's not going to work out. Sorry, not sorry, but that's true. It's just not going to work out. Alrighty. Sorry, y'all. I got this next video for y'all. They all kind of go hand in hand, but I want these to be heard, already.
Went missing.
So
why is that our standard?
I have a question. So, are you aware that one in 3 men are either virgins or have been in the past year?
Yep.
Wrong video, y'all. Wrong
men are
video.
either
Hold on.
virgins.
I went to the wrong one. Here we go.
I was today years old when I found out that men are not supposed to chase after women. Proverbs 31. Don't chase after women and lose your strength. Women like that have destroyed kings. When a man hunts, you don't ever see a man chasing after a deer. He will let that deer run.
Until it's hurt.
He doesn't chase. So another comes. So be it. Oh.
So, there's only one reason I played that clip. Today's society is saying that all men need to do, like, we don't chase women no more. We don't do this. We don't do that. 2 parts to this. One, back when men were doing that, when they were holding doors open, they were, trying to show you they wanted you, doing whatever they could to get you, like showing you the attention you want. Then we were considered thirsty. We needed some water because we were thirsty, or some Gatorade, right? We were considered, doing too much, or we were considered, needy, whatever the case may be. And come to find out, like, no wonder why a lot of us fell down. No wonder why a lot of us was, in the trenches after stuff like that. Because just like it says, you will lose your power chasing a woman, right? I say that because the women that I have actually, like, genuinely interested in, right? And when they're genuinely interested in me, there is no chasing. There is no, going back and forth about who's going to show who more attention. Honestly, what there really is understanding. So it's more so of a, I match your energy, you match mine. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about the fact that they was trying to get me to prove to them that I was worthy, because let's be honest. If you accepted my invitation to have a conversation or a date, you should have deemed me worthy at that moment. Because the minute I asked you on a date, I found you were worthy. So of course I want to keep the same energy. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it up. But you getting to the point now where that energy is not being reciprocated. You want the men to sit up here and throw in all of these extras, and you don't have anything to offer besides vagina, besides pussy. I can get that anywhere. It's on every corner here in Vegas. I can get that anywhere. That's not what I need. So always, that, just like I said last week, what can you do for me besides offer me pussy? Because that's not what I'm looking for. I mean, pussy's lovely. It's great. It's amazing. But that's not what I'm looking for. That's not my goal. You know what I mean? My goal is to build. So in order for us to build, we need more than just sex. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dick is probably good for you or to you, but I mean, like, hey, I get it. Thanks for the compliment that you love this penis, but let's work around things that are going to make us better and build us in the future, right? Or help us build in the future. Let's not keep worrying about just the sex part. Granted, a lot of people can't do anything without sex, but to each his own, to each his own. Me personally, like I say, I mean, y'all see me, man. I do me, right? At the end of the day, I don't have time to argue with nobody. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I'm just going to do me and call it a day. Most of y'all are at this point where you men are still chasing these women because y'all feel like y'all need to be with them or y'all need to be around them, and that's not the case. That is not the case. Another thing, what it is like as men, y'all have to realize that only you can sit up there and hold your value and show these women, how valuable you are. Now, I'm not saying go up there and approach this woman with a 9-to-5, her own car, her own house, and you stand at home with your mom with no job, no car, no nothing. What I'm telling you to do is get off your ass, go get a job, save up, get a car, and get your own spot. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you don't have to, it's not like it's going to be overnight, but you got to start somewhere. Okay? All right, my man, you got to start somewhere. Regardless, I moved out of my mama's house at 18, 19 years old, almost 20, I think, right after I lost my brother. And I asked my mom if I've been back to live with her since then. That was 11 years ago, man. No, I haven't been. Because as a man, like, you're supposed to have those. Remember I said that last week? Don't praise me for having the basics. You're supposed to. So you trying to approach a woman and you ain't got nothing and she got everything, of course she going to laugh at you. And then when you try to manipulate the situation to her and you try to make it seem like, like it's just something different than what you really own, and she found out the truth, now you mad because you lied to her. How? How, my man? One thing about being a man is they not going to take you serious if you ain't got your own. So y'all up here complaining about women all the time on social media about women ain't doing this, women ain't that. And half of y'all, I know y'all ain't got it all together. So what y'all complaining about? I'm not saying I got it all together, but the basics is something we all got to have. A car, job, and a place to stay. We have to. That's literally, whether we're in a relationship or not, we have to have a car to get around. We have to have a job to take care of our bills, and we need a place to stay to lay our head. We need our peace, right? And that's just people in general. So, for you fellas, I'm just being real with y'all. Stop coming to these women half-assed. Stop coming to these women, trying to dig into their pockets. There are women that will be glad to take care of you. But if you want the respect as a man that you want, you're not going to get that by letting a woman take care of you. You know what I mean? In a way, you have to be having something going for yourself. Because a woman don't gotta make less than you to respect you and give you what you want. You feel me? As long as she see you got motion and you moving and you making it happen. That's all. It ain't that hard. I just had to let that, because I be seeing y'all on social media and it's starting to piss me off because y'all the main ones talking about women this and women that and why I can't get a woman. And well, why you can't get a house or an apartment? Why you can't get a car? Huh? Why you can't go get a job? Let me ask you that question. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to say that all day. Sorry, not sorry. Speaking on into that, though, like, fellas, I'm not here to bash y'all, but I just have to let that part be known. Now, this next one here is going to be this is a video for the fellas. Like, listen, I get it. I'm a fella. I'm a guy. I relate to y'all. I get it. I understand. I just try to put myself in both sets of shoes sometimes. So, here we go.
In public. So,
21.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
I say it because men can't. More often than not, women will argue with their emotions so that they're always right. Not all the time, but more often than not, women will argue with their feelings so that they're always right. Because no matter what, your feelings are valid. Period. That's the full sentence. But now, if we're having a conversation, I tell you, you weren't supposed to feel that way. Even if I didn't mean to make you feel that way, if I tell you that your feelings are dumb, now I'm gaslighting you. But the only person that can validate those feelings is you. And I have to accept how you feel. Period. But then if I try and introduce logic to the situation, then I'm missing the point. Okay? As a man, if you try and argue your feelings, then you're a bitch. Okay?
Didn't I just say that?
So now there's no conversation to be had. It's just, you made me feel this way, apologize, and let's get over it. But I didn't get to get off nothing about how I felt or how I feel about the situation or what I thought. And this is coming from a woman that processes her emotions and feelings in private and argues with logic and unbiased worldview opinions in public. So I'm just trying to figure out when do y'all accept or try and hear the other point of view? That's all I want to know. I'm just curious.
I love how she put it into perspective and then she went ahead and said, when do y'all get to hear the other point of view? Because that's exactly what I mean by that. Like, we try to express ourselves, but then we get tied up in this battle of, because we expressed ourselves and how we feel hurt your feelings, now we have to tend to your feelings because they got hurt. But at the end of the day, after tending to your feelings and making sure you better, we never got to the resolution of what's bothering me. We never got to it. We just swept it under the rug because your feelings were more important in that moment. Your feelings about how I feel were more important in that moment than to reassure me or to hear me out when I had something to say. And a lot of men, like, we starting to see it now. Like, we no longer need the glasses. We can see it with our eyes clear as day. We can see it. And now we just like, that's bullshit. If that's how you feel, that's what you want to be on, you need to be on that with somebody else. Because, like, honestly, like, I'm not here to keep creating problems between me and you. I'm here to help create resolutions between me and you. I'm here so that we can have a better understanding for each other. That's what I'm here for. But how can I do that if you won't even take the time to understand me? I know you like the back of my hand. Yet you can't even realize irritation from disappointment. You can't even realize happiness from being, angry. You can't realize none of that to me because you don't really understand me that well. Because as long as your feelings are safe, mine don't matter. I'm not saying that's every woman, by the way. I always tell y'all it's just some women. I don't ever put it on all. I have not dated every single woman in this world, so I cannot by far say every woman. Okay? Fair enough? Fair. But for some women, yeah, that's just how it goes, man. And we over it now. You know what I mean? Like, we starting to realize, like, y'all don't want to take accountability for shit, for nothing. But y'all claim so much that we need to be accountable as men. And I say it all the time. As men, I think we take more accountability than women. I'm just going to be real. Like, I you know what? I think that's the video I went to earlier I wasn't supposed to go to. So let's go back to that one, because that one to tell you, because I was like, that's how it is. Like, as men, we, here we go.
Men, one of their biggest gripes is that women, they will always move the goalposts. Like, if they're wrong, then they will kind of counterpoint on how how you caused it. Like, even if they cheat, well, you weren't emotionally available, so it's your fault. No matter what happens, there's an excuse. I rarely hear a woman say, I'm sorry, honey, I did wrong. I'm going to work on it. You'll never see me do this again. Please forgive me.
Do you believe that sex outside of marriage is wrong?
So, yes, but...
Yeah, you would.
But do you still partake? Yes, right? So in modern culture, it's relevant, right?
Then you're blaming culture.
I'm not blaming culture. That's just that's the reality of it.
Y'all see how she moved that goalpost?
You're right, but that's you as an individual. You have individual accountability. So I don't care what culture is doing. I make a choice with my box. Culture is not going to give me STD. Culture is not going to give me. Culture's not going to take care of when I have a I'm an unwed mother. Culture is not going to take care of those things. I am responsible for my body, my who I give my body to, who I have soul ties to. If you choose to spread your legs open in these streets, society did not make you do that. You made the choice to lay down with all of those men, and you can and putting it on that men need to take accountability. You chose to bust it open for that F boy or that pookie. That is your choice.
Preach.
Much better job of checking each other because men see your step by step.
She went in to say that men, like, we see the bullshit in each other, so we can check each other because we see it there, and we don't have to worry about it. Like, we don't have to do anything to it. Here's another part from that interview here. 1 second.
Men are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year.
Yes, given the weight that women date and things like that. Yep.
What % of men do you think are sexually active and sleeping with multiple women?
I said this last week.
I think it's like 30 or 40% or something like that.
10.
It's
like way less.
It's
5 to 10%.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to put 5 to 10% of men's decisions on all of men, when really it's like 80% of women that are sleeping with them.
Amen. That's it.
So I'm saying women need to take the accountability, right?
So it's who's it more on?
Women.
So
you see what I'm saying? And just like they told her, like, you know what I mean? Like, there you go trying to move the goalposts, because now you're trying to blame it on this person and that person when you need to take accountability for what you did and what you had going on. Like, it's not about what anybody else has going. It's accountability. You can't blame it on culture or society. You have to understand what you are doing alone, you and yourself. You can't try to throw anybody else into the pit when we're having a conversation like that. It's about accountability. So you have to understand what you are doing in that situation as well, not what made you do it, not what's going on. You did it. You did it. Simple as that. But I like that because, like, yeah, women always sit up here and they talk down about the men, and they talk crazy to the men because of one man or 2 or 3 men that they've dated that they've done wrong or done wrong to them. And here's what I'm going to tell y'all, women. You have chose every dude that has fucked you over. You handpicked him. You chose him yourself. So who's really at blame here? You for having shitty judgment, or the guy for just being a guy? I mean, being him. You chose. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away because we know some things happen. But I just want to put this part out there with it. Regardless of what that man may have done, you chose him. You chose every man that has ever fucked you over. Just like us as men, the good men, we chose every woman that has fucked us over. We have. It's reality. It is what it is. Like everybody talks about the situation with me and my kid's mom. Hey, listen, I take accountability because I allowed myself to be in that position. That has nothing to do with nobody else, nothing to do with what she did, what's going on, nothing. I put myself there. It's simple as that. Everybody came out this, what happened? Listen, it was my fault. I put myself in that situation. That's it. That's all it is. I don't need to blame nobody. I don't need to justify nothing. I don't need to know nothing. All I need to do is let them know, you know what? I knew better and I still did it. It's that simple. It's accountability. It's okay. It makes you feel good sometimes. Try it out. Try it out. 1, 2, 1, 2. But I had to let that be known. Like, just remember, ladies, you literally chose every dude that has ever fucked you over. Just want that to be known. So, sorry, but not sorry. Okay. We are halfway into the show. I do want to get into this topic really quick because I don't want to wait till the end and I'm not able to actually go ahead and talk about it. So, what's going to happen is I am going to talk about it now. Get it out the way because it may run over a little bit. There's been a video going around social media and it was of a teacher, substitute teacher, and a student, okay? I'm going to talk about the video and then I'm going to give my opinion, okay? Easy as that. Some of y'all are going to be mad at me, but I don't give a fuck. In the video starts by the child at the teacher's desk. I think that's already a red flag. Why are you at the teacher's desk? Go sit down somewhere. The student is at the teacher's desk already. The student is trying to get her phone back, and the student is talking about how every other kid or other kids got their phones out, yada, yada, yada. And she's at the teacher's desk and swung on the teacher, and, it got physical. After it got physical, they fell to the floor, and the teacher sat down on the student and kept screaming for them to go get another teacher. She kept telling all the kids, go get another teacher. You know what I mean? And everybody's trying to say, oh, she's wrong for jumping on that little girl. She's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong. And I'm just going to give my piece about it, okay? This is my views and my views only, how I feel about it. This is probably not yours and not yours at all, but this is like a perfect conversation that I want to have. So, first things first. Yes, that student is dead fucking wrong. Disrespectful, if you ask me. Disrespectful. Here's what, let me tell you this really quick. Last night, after watching the video and talking about it, I told my 4-year-old, Khalil, I said, what would you do if you was at school and the teacher took your phone? She said, well, I would go to the principal office and call my mom. That's common sense. I don't care what you feel like you are entitled to, what you may want to do. If you felt like that teacher was wrong, you should have went the proper steps to make sure that's right. Y'all, I'm holding accountability on both ends here, right? Along with that, let's back up for a second. We get this video right when they are at the desk. We don't know if that teacher tried calling for another teacher already, if they got security on the way. We don't know what's going on already. You don't know how many times she done told that student to go sit back down at her desk. You don't know none of that, right? And I feel like if she was really being malicious, instead of stopping to get another teacher, she would have kept beating the shit out that little girl. She would have been beating the shit out that little girl. I don't see that being malicious. I see her trying to control an uncontrollable environment at the moment. And here's another thing to it. I'm not blaming the teacher. I'm not blaming the student. I'm blaming the goddamn parents. I'm blaming the parents. And before anybody get on here saying, why would you blame the parents? Why would you throw it on the parents? Let me give y'all a little backstory to me. I was raised by a single mom. 3 kids. She had 3 boys. I was raised by a single mom. And my mother, because they say, oh, the father ain't in the household possibly. Don't matter. I was raised by a single mom. My father wasn't in the household growing up. I knew better than to play with the teachers like that. I would be scared to even talk back to the teachers. If the teacher sent me a note home with to give to my mom, even if it was a good note, I was scared because I didn't know how the reaction would be. I thought I would be in trouble. I had that much respect for my mother not to go into school and do anything I shouldn't be doing. So in that situation there, if the kids, the kids got their phones out. I don't give a fuck if those kids was all ditching school that day. You don't. It's not about what everybody else is doing. Stop worrying about what every fucking body else is doing and worry about you and yourself. It's not about the fact that they had their phones out. So what? Nobody should do it. So that means it's okay? No, don't do it still. I don't give a fuck about none of that. There's rules and you at school to learn. These teachers have a hard enough fucking job as it is. And the last thing they need is y'all little bastards, y'all little shits going in there making it harder for them. Because y'all as parents, y'all can do better. I know y'all can. Y'all choose not to. Here's the problem with it. Y'all want to be friends with these kids so goddamn bad that y'all don't want to be parents. And that's not how parenting goes. I could be friends with my kids when they turn 21, when they're legal age to drink. That's when we can be friends. But right now, when it comes to being a parent, I'm going to choose that factor every single time about being a parent. And y'all want to be so friendly with these kids, and look at this shit. Look what's happening now. You got kids in school being disrespectful to the teachers as if they get paid enough to deal with y'all little insubordinate ass kids. That is just wrong. Very disrespectful. I don't care what you say. And all those stereotypes y'all want to throw out, I grew up on those. No father in the house, a single mom raising kids on welfare, all of that shit. I was in that stereotypes. Every single one y'all throw out, I was there, and I didn't turn out that way. So stop using that shit as an excuse. Make adjustments, not excuses. Yes, it pissed me off to see shit like that. Because as a parent, you should want your kid to go in there to get an education. Not to worry about the fact that her friends got their phones out or their friends got their phones out. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You are there to learn. You are there to do one thing and one thing only. And acting out is not part of that. It ain't nowhere in the goddamn contract for you to act out in school. So regardless of what y'all may feel with the situation with the lady, for one, that little girl was all in her personal space. She calmed that situation down best she could, because as y'all see, she was sitting there not doing, even when the little girl was trying to grab her and swinging her, like, come on now, man. Once that little girl really started getting violent, she tried to calm it down in the best way she could. And y'all mad at her because she what? Defended herself? How long was she supposed to sit there and just take a beating before she just decided to not do nothing? I don't give no excuses over the fact that it's student and teacher. Like, no, it's respect at the end of the day. And that little girl should have never been in that girl's face. It's crazy that had to happen to her. If my kids, if that would have happened to them when they got home, you know what I would have said? Well, did you learn your lesson for the day? Oh, okay, well, I'm glad you learned it, but you still got another ass whooping coming, so go ahead and put them hands back up. Simple. I don't care. I just don't feel like that teacher should be held responsible over the fact that she was in an environment that she just kind of had to control in the way she could. Y'all saying it's all about being calm and this and that with these kids. Man, y'all only seeing the part that escalated. Why y'all think the phones got pulled out? I'm pretty sure there was an entire time before that where that teacher tried to de-escalate the situation as calm as she could, and the little girl thought it was okay to get up out of her seat to walk all the way over to the teacher's desk and get in her face to try to start shit. No, that's entitlement. They shouldn't be doing no shit like that. Respect. Have some fucking respect. Honestly. So yes, it's to that parent or to the parents of that child. Y'all got some work to do. Y'all should be a fucking shame to yourselves. Simple as that. It's always about the upbringing. They say always about the upbringing. Hey, it's something going on with them parents, and that's who I'm blaming. Sorry, not sorry. I really don't give a fuck. Y'all need to do better. We are raising this next generation of motherfuckers that's going to be running this world, and y'all want to... No. You're going to learn respect in my household. You're going to learn discipline. You're going to learn what the fuck it means to sit down and shut up when you got your phone taken in class and wait till the class is over for you to get it. That's what you're going to wait for. Oh, it sounded like she was... That's because y'all got to the video right when things escalated and got heated. I guarantee if we was all sitting in that room way before it happened, we would have a different outlook as to the resolution now, because we would see everything play down. I'm just saying. I know how some of y'all are as parents. Y'all feel like should nobody touch y'all baby, should nobody da-da-da-da. And y'all not raising these kids for the real world that way. Y'all raising them on a fantasy, in a fucking fantasy world. Y'all are. And y'all think that's okay? Y'all supposed to be doing better for these kids. Y'all supposed to be giving these kids a better life than y'all had. Y'all supposed to be doing everything better for them to have them have the best possible outcome in life. And yet, y'all are being lazy with that. If it's one thing I say I procrastinate to be lazy with, it's never being a father. Because regardless of how I may feel, regardless of what I do, that comes first. And y'all don't see that because y'all want to be friends. Y'all worried about y'all kids having an attitude at which y'all after y'all done told them no or don't give them what they want. I don't give a fuck. You better go in your room and sit the fuck down somewhere and I bet not hear it at all. What? Listen, we can have a cool little time. We can kick it and chill. We could be somewhat like friends as you growing up as long as you on your shit. As long as you're taking care of school, you being respectful, you disciplined. As long as you are on your shit, I don't have a problem having a friendship with you or building one as you grow up. But if all you're doing is fucking off, is being insubordinate, is being disrespectful, I don't want to be your fucking friend. I am a parent. I'm here to set this shit straight. Period, point blank. I don't give a fuck about being a friend with you until you're 21. And even then, shit, hell, if you don't like me, that's cool. But I bet you respect me. I guarantee you'll walk in the room and if something somebody are doing, you'll say, nah, my dad raised me better than that. My parents raised me better than that. I'm sorry, I'm not falling for this shit. And regardless, like I say, I grew up with the stereotypes. I was raised in a single mother household where she had 3 boys growing up. And we wasn't the best of boys. We wasn't the easiest to parent. But she did her goddamn thing. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Charlotte. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Hey, so quick joke real quick. I always tell people I am Spider-Man. My mom's name is Charlotte. It's like I am Spider-Man. I came from Charlotte's Web. You get it? Hi. Anyway, shout out to my mom. Like, I really appreciate her. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate the ass whoopings. I appreciate, being on top of me, being disciplined. I appreciate every little thing you did to make sure that I wouldn't turn out to be just another stereotype. I respect it so much. As a kid, I didn't like a lot of the things you said or you made me do. I didn't like it because it wasn't what I wanted, but you saw what I needed. So I appreciate that, moms. Mom Dukes, for sure. And I want my kids to be the same way. I want you to understand that I don't care what you want. It's about what you need, right? Sometimes it's okay to get what you want because, that's just life. It happens that way. But for the most part, you're going to get what you need. You're going to get what you need because all of this back and forth that y'all going on, fighting over it, nobody is seeing the respect or discipline. And that's crazy to me. That y'all's more so worried about who's wrong than where it stemmed from and where it came from. I'm just saying. I get to the point where with my kids, they know. My kids, they think I'm a drill sergeant. They do, right? But they also know now at this point that they're learning. They're still young, so they still got more to learn about me as a parent. But at the age that they're at with my parenting style, my kids know that certain things, I don't care if it is done. The fact that it was done, you in trouble. You shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have been around it. For one, being disrespectful to any adult, I get it when adults, started, because y'all adults be starting shit and y'all don't want to be telling the truth that y'all be over here fighting with kids and shit. But some of you adults be starting it. and then y'all, you know what I mean? But regardless, even if the adults do start it, my kids know to call me. I let it be known. One thing I don't play about is my kids being disrespectful to adults. So if adult is being disrespectful to you and you feel like they are, okay, you shut your mouth right then and there and you call your dad, call your parents. And you let us determine if they being disrespectful or not. You let them know about, if they how they talking to you. You let us know. Right? You let us handle it. That way it gets handled the proper way. And that's how I want my, even growing up later on in life, I want them to keep that same energy to know that if anything goes wrong or if there's something that's different or out of the ordinary that I haven't been prepared for, let me call dad or mom. Most likely they'll call dad, you know what I mean? Because I keep it real with the kids, you know what I mean? My kids know that me and their mama is Santa Claus. I'm Santa, she Miss Claus. That's what they know. That's it. I'm not finna lie and say some fat old white man is Santa Claus bringing y'all presents. I worked hard as fuck this year to do this for y'all. I'm Santa Claus, me and your mom. And as simple as that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I want them to live life and enjoy. But I need them to do it under the circumstances that they know that consequences do happen, right? And kids are kids, so when something first happens, they won't understand the consequences because it just happened. It's new, it's fresh. But it's like the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's kind of what I go by. The first time, it's like, you know what? You need a bit of understanding about it. Let me thoroughly explain and dive into this, and let's talk about it. So that way, if it happens again, you know better. You know what you should or shouldn't be doing. And it honestly, I'm not going to lie. It works out the first time. After having that conversation, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, it's rarely ever been a time where something else has happened after we've had a conversation of what they should or shouldn't do. And that's another one. Like, stop being aggressive to these kids. Like, they don't know any better. They innocent. Like, they don't know. So be calm and patient. It took me a year or two to realize that with my kids. You know what I mean? Like, I had to realize that they're innocent. They're just kids being kids, and they're not up here trying to do it for the hell of it. Like, they're not actually trying to, be malicious. Like, they're learning. They're curious. That's all they are. They're curious. And after learning how their little minds are just running on curiosity 24/7, it's been easier for me to deal with them because I've realized that some things they do, it wasn't to be malicious. It wasn't because they wanted to be in trouble. They were just curious. Curious as all as can be. And I learned that. So I changed up my little parenting style for them, and I kind of do it a certain way now. Just for the kids. But just for the kids. So all in all, just to wrap up that little subject, man, like I say, I feel like the little girl was very disrespectful. I feel like her parents should definitely be held responsible, and they definitely got some work to do in the household because that just shouldn't have happened. And, hopefully the teacher doesn't have to suffer too many consequences because I know how social media can be. I've seen them tear people apart day in and day out, and I hope she ain't got to worry about going through that. You know what I mean? Things happen every day, Things happen every day. But that was just one that I felt like, just disrespectful. It ain't right. It ain't right, Okay. Sorry. Oh, I didn't even give you guys. So one more thing before I go. I realize that I always come in here and I talk about Womonopoly, and I talk about, the fact that we have the show going and it'll be here this day. So let me go ahead and just give you guys our lineup of tonight, so that way you kind of know who's actually going to be in the show. You actually know who to come and see perform. I mean, you'll hear me introduce them again, but we got the Brawlin' Beauty, Marvelous Malay, Tiffany Violet de Alba, Sergeant Device. We have Neutrality. First time performing today is Neutrality, actually, so we'll see how that goes. We also have Jade Moss, Brandy Glass, and of course, we have the Maryland with Melanin, Elise Elaine. Our performers, they do their goddamn thing every time they come out and perform. So what I will say to y'all is make sure you come out. Don't forget, doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite still till this minute, up until showtime, actually. I'm not sure about tickets at the door. I always forget to ask about that one. I think there are, but I'm not sure. I don't want to give you a guarantee. But it's at the Artifice Bar, LV, downtown in the Arts District. Come out and support. Again, Womonopoly LV, burlesque performances all night. And I am your host with the most. So you'll see me on the stage, doing what I do, a little banter, a little side dad jokes, all things like that. But other than that, man, it's been a great show today. I know I've said some things that some of you all may not like. It may not sit with you well. It may not sit with you at all. You might have it across at the other lunch table, not even, in the same cafeteria as you. Who knows? But it does have to be said. And again, these are my views and my opinions only, right? So don't take it to heart. Don't take it personal. But as you can see, that situation, I took it a little personal. And I just had to speak my mind, speak my piece, without further ado on that one. I really had to. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. And let's all get out here and start making better decisions. There's too many STDs going around. Too many people not telling y'all about STDs, and it's causing a ruckus. So be safe rather than being sorry. I do not mind getting tested anytime I'm asked, because I know I have nothing to worry about. But I have ran into people that have had a problem with getting tested, and it's like a big deal to them when you ask. And I stay far away from them, because I feel like the reason you don't want to get one is because there's something there that shouldn't be. Right? So, you know what I mean? I'll stick to the masturbation videos on OnlyFans and go from there. Take that for myself and make some money. Other than that, it has been a great show. I appreciate you all for coming out again every week to speak with me. Don't forget, you can find me on all social media. Facebook, again, is Marquan Thomas, or, Quan Facebook Jail Thomas. Speaking of that, it's been 4 months out of Facebook jail. 4 months. Longest streak yet. See if I can make it to 6. I'm trying to make it to my birthday without going to Facebook jail, June 8th. Also, you can reach me on Facebook, which is Choose Your Character, CHOOZE. I always got to do something different. Choose Your Character. That's also for Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, which is Choose Your Character, all spelled the same way. You can also find me on Instagram at Juss Quanni, JUSSQUANNI, for sure. You can find me on Twitter as well at Juss Quanni, JUSSQUANNI. That's my rated R page. And then you can find me at Quanni702, which is the professional, like the, personal page kind of thing. Quanni702 on Twitter. Now, don't forget, reach out to me on TikTok, Juss Quanni23. I've got that as well. Just like my man here was talking about Terrell Blue earlier about music, I'm all for support. I'm all for helping out and giving that hand. So hit me up and talk to me. You never know. Maybe one day you can be a guest on my show. We can see you here next to me. I'm all for it. I open the seatings to people. All I ask for is to be professional, be on time, and really communicate with me if you cannot make it. A lot of people chose to not do so. So as you see, I've kind of shut down having guests on the show for a while because of it. To each his own. Other than that, I think I gave all my plugs, right? All of my plugs have been there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, yada yada, yada yada, bada boom, bada bang, right? Other than that, I'll catch you guys next Wednesday at 5 p.m., of course, on the hottest radio station on the planet. We're going to be here at Hot 702.5 FM. hottest radio station on the planet. I'll be back next Wednesday at 5 p.m. So peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.